Hello everyone. Hello to all of you guys. It's your boy Ali here with another Instagram live. And yeah, I know it's been a long while since we've been online and since we actually doing an Instagram live, but tonight we just thought we would do something different. And as you know, as you may have actually seen on our Instagram story, so I'll be joined with Dinela, and actually I'm seeing right now her name here. So before we actually get started on our Instagram live tonight, I thought I would actually share with you something, just, you know, for the sake of just speaking my mind, okay? So you know that we all know that we are really going through a hard time with COVID going around, and there is literally no end in sight. We don't know when this pandemic is going to go away so we can get back on our feet. It has actually hit a lot of people and a lot of businesses really hard, and the entire world is suffering in a way, okay? Now let's just keep our fingers crossed and let's just hope that this pandemic goes away, because, you know, things are really getting out of hand. But, you know, as you might have heard in the news about India, you know, the death toll is 4,000 people per day, which is insane. It's tragic. Seeing 4,000 people die in one single day, that is really tragic, and it really, you know, hurts our hearts, okay? So we should be keeping our fingers crossed. Let's just all pray that this pandemic goes away. It is actually everyone's concern actually out there. So I think that this is affecting basically a lot of aspects of humans' life. So I just thought I would share with you this thought of mine because it was really a big concern for me. Okay, enough with that. Okay, English with Dinela. So as you know, I'll be joined with Dinela, and we're going to be going through some of the very cool terms from Boss Baby, the cartoon. It's not a cartoon, actually, it's an animation kind of thing. We're going to be going through that, and then we will explain what these actually expressions and these words are all about. So in the meantime, we will be doing some role play. We'll provide more examples, and at the end of the live, I will open this comment section so you guys can actually get in and drop in your questions if you have any. Yeah, that's it. And let's, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna hit this request. All right. By the way, I'm not going to turn off commenting here, okay? I'll actually keep it on, but if we experience any glitches down the road, I'm going to have to actually turn it off. Okay, hello. Hello, how's it going?
Can you see me? Hear me?
Yes, of course, I can see you. You're coming through loud and clear. I can see you. Okay, so it's been quite a while, actually. It's been like a year.
It's been a while since I have had a live session on Instagram myself, on my own page. I mean, months though. Last time I spoke to someone was, oh my God. I know there's no way for me to recall. So yeah, I hopped on a few lives on my own in the past 2 months just to say hi. But it's not the same anymore though. So I'm really happy to be here today. I really am.
Okay, so am I, and I'm really happy to have you here.
Yeah,
okay, so is there anything that you would like to share with others and before we actually get started?
Yeah, there is. I'm super happy that you mentioned the whole COVID thing. And besides COVID, there's a lot of other things happening in the world. And all I can say that there's a lot of pain, and that you sitting there right now and me sitting here in peace is just amazing. Like, I mean, the fact that we have peace. So I want everyone to take a minute to feel gratitude that we're in peace right now, and to send a few prayers up to the sky just for those who feel pain right now, because they really need it. And I believe that if we all get together and send one huge prayer together, it's gonna work. So if you guys have a minute, I don't know, today, tonight, tomorrow morning, just do that. Like, I made it a habit to just send positivity out in the sky first every morning so we can affect the world, and then I keep on enjoying my day and so on, you know. So just, yeah, that's what I want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, you know, there's a lot of people out there. They could be our relatives, they could be people we know, they could be people we have a little acquaintance with. So every single individual out there is kind of affected by this COVID in a way, okay? Take, for instance, the other day, one of my friends just called in and he said that actually his father passed away. And it kind of came to them as a shock because it was something that, it was the last thing they would have probably thought. Okay,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, his father did not have any kind of diseases, did not have a history of any, like a critical condition or situation. But all of a sudden, he ended up in a hospital. He got laid up in a hospital. And within 24 hours, he passed away. And he went through a lot of actually pain, just like that, just like that, okay? Because you really don't know when it hits you. Really don't know if you are affected. Unless you go through some kind of, testing and everything to identify that whether you're really affected or not. You really cannot know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, okay? Anyway, we all should be praying that this thing goes away and so the entire world can get back on their feet. Okay. Yeah. Boss Baby is one of those movies that a lot of people swear by. Okay, a lot of people swear. It was, yeah. Okay.
I'm addicted to it. I mean, not really addicted to it, but it was it's one of those movies that I rush to watch. I'm like expecting the release date. Oh, when is it coming? When is it coming? Watch it as soon as possible. So yeah, that was Boss Baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of people swear by that. And so we have kind of picked out a few expressions and a few terms that you guys might actually find interesting. Okay, so we get started with the number one item here, that is make time, okay? Yes. So guys, make time, or to get time, to carve out time, and to find time, okay? So these expressions basically have the same meaning. And they basically mean that you kind of dedicate a small portion of your time to do something. Okay, for example, okay, Dinela, you want to go with the first example here, okay? You make the first example, and I'll go for the second.
Yes, I would, first of all, before I make any examples, I would like you guys to know that, like, yeah, they have the same meaning, but sometimes when you visualize things, for example, carve, we know what carving is, when you carve out, like, wood pieces and turn them into tiny, I don't know, sculptures. It's basically showing that you're trying harder. So if you say, I'm going to make time and I'm going to carve out time, it's like when you're carving it out, it's you're giving it more effort. You know what I'm saying? You're giving it more and more effort. Basically the same thing, but if you want to sound like you're giving it more effort, that's how you would say it. So let's say that I'm working hard every single day and my friends want to have some coffee this weekend, and I'm like, I'm gonna do my best to carve out some time for our coffee hour, or I'm gonna do my best to make some time for it, or I promise I'll make some time for it. So this is my expression. This is my example. What would be yours?
Okay, so make time. These days a lot of people actually are on tight schedule, and their schedule is really hectic. So for me, basically, since I really love foreign languages, so I kind of find it very difficult for me to carve out time to actually go through learning one of the many languages that I really like. So we could say I have a hard time making time for it. I have a hard time carving out time. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so make time, get time, find time, and carve out time. Yeah. So these four basically, could have the same meaning, except for the fact that you brought up the carve out requires a little bit more effort to make it happen. Yeah, actually.
Like I'm trying.
It's not like a matter of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not a matter of you basically like, okay, I feel like doing this, and then you go out there and do it. No, it's not just that easy.
Exactly.
All right. So the next one is to get along. Okay, before actually we go to the second one, so for those who would like to actually hear it in Persian, دوستان make time, get time, find time و carve out time. خب به این معنی هستش که در واقع شما میان و زمانی رو اختصاص میدین برای انجام کاری. مثلا بگین که we should make time and call for a meeting. یعنی باید یه وقت بذاریم و یه جلسه تشکیل بدیم. پس make time, get time, find time و carve out time میتونه تقریبا همچین معنی رو داشته باشن، با این تفاوت که وقتی شما میگین در واقع to carve out time کمی باید بیشتر تلاش کنید که این اتفاق بیفته، یعنی به همین راحتی نخواهد بود. Okay, the second one on the list is to get along. Okay, to get along.
To get along.
Me personally, before I actually get started, sorry to cut you off. For me personally, get along. I remember back when I used to actually work in one of these companies. Okay, I'm not going to mention any names here, but I really had a hard time getting along with my colleagues. Okay, because I kind of felt like that we're not on the same wavelength and there were differences. Okay, so I had a hard time kind of blending in, or I had a hard time like kind of, you know, join their group or bring something to the table, because I thought that maybe this is not the kind of group I want to spend my time with. Okay, so I couldn't get along with them. نمیتونستیم بسازیم با هم دیگه، کنار نمیتونستیم بیایم. Okay, now, Dinela, what is your example for get along?
Okay, I'll use my real life right now, because I believe the more you use your real life examples, the better you learn. I believe in emotional relating to the English lessons that we're having, or any, I mean, if I'm learning Spanish, I'm going to try to learn Spanish, like learning it through my personal experiences, you know. So today I'm going to mention one of them for you guys to remember the expression to get along. So you see this tattoo right here? There are 4 letters. It's A-S.
What does it say?
I have 4 sisters, and these are their initials. Right, Aldiana, Sara, Nieves, Chiara. I love my sisters. I adore my sisters, but I don't get along with these 2 right here. So, to get along basically means to have a not a hectic, crazy, like a nice relationship, a very calm relationship. The kind of relationship that I have with these 2 in the middle right here. So they are teenagers, right? And they're so reckless, and I'm 25, and it's sometimes it's so hard to put some sense in them, you know? So we don't get along that much when it comes to some, I don't know, funny situations. We tend to argue, and that's just the way we go. You know, that's just the way we go. So basically, yeah, I don't get along with these 2, but I perfectly get along with this one and the youngest one. I mean, she's 7. Of course, I'm going to get along with her. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so speaking of tattoos, so that is like an indelible ink, right? It just doesn't come off, right? You need to get some laser treatment to get that come off, right?
Yeah, so I have 3. I have this one, I have this one, wow. And I have one in my neck. So.
Wow, okay. It must have hurt.
Well,
that must have hurt.
Well, waxing hurts more. Okay, if you ever want to get a tattoo, I advise you to go and wax your legs off, like do that first, because basically the tattoo needle goes only a 1/3 part of a centimeter into your skin, and when you wax your legs, I mean your hair goes a whole not centimeter, millimeter. What is it, millimeters? Oh, it's a millimeter.
Well, centimeter is going to be like something that would be probably used on. Okay.
Yeah, it's a millimeter. So basically your hair goes a whole millimeter under your skin, but the needle goes only a 1/3 part of that. So it doesn't hurt that much. It feels like scratching, but only after you do the waxing thing. So yeah. If you
waxing. Yeah. I can't really see myself, you know, getting a wax, because, you know, with all my, you know, bushy, hairy body, that is the last thing I want.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you just get the spread, just get that whatever, I don't know, thing that is kind of gooey, slimy green thing that they kind of shove up down in your actually nostril. They kind of yank it out. It kind of reminds me of something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of spread it all over, like when you were spreading butter on a piece of, you know, toast. They spread it all over your legs, and then all of a sudden they kind of remove it. Yeah, and that's when your life flashes before your eyes, basically.
Yes, yeah, you hurt like hell. But like, this is what I tell people if they're really planning on getting a tattoo and trying to avoid the pain. Like, this is how you avoid it, actually. And then getting
there's no getting around it. There's no getting around it.
No. So yeah.
Okay, fine. And by the way, those who actually get a tattoo, they must be in a good shape. Okay, those with a lot of flaps, like bouncing around with a lot of like a double chin and everything, that would probably be the worst experience in their lives. Okay, I want to get a tattoo on my love handles. I want to get a tattoo on my, like, I don't know, tits.
Well,
that would be ridiculous.
I got my tattoos when I was totally fit, like fit. But now I'm a bit more chubby, so I'm not sure how it would feel. Let's not. I mean, I was planning on actually doing, like, finishing this one off. Like, I'm gonna go this big. Like,
wow.
It's gonna be really long. I'm gonna
like
have a
elbow
sleeve.
length.
I want to do a sleeve. I can't wait to do this. It's called a sleeve when your whole
like full-on sleeve,
covered.
like full-on solid
sleeve. Yep, that's what I'm planning on doing. But
wow.
yeah, but not yet. I gotta lose some weight first. I gotta go back to the gym. That's what I promised myself, and then the sleeve is gonna be like a gift to myself after I get back to the gym, because it's been 2 years without working out regularly. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the next one is back at you or back to you. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what you usually hear when you watch the news. You know, like, let's say the main reporter goes like, okay, the breaking news for today is blah, 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 blah. Now let's go to the weather channel. And then you watch the whole weather thing. And then the guy goes like, okay, Roger, back at you. And then the camera goes back to the main reporter. So basically, that's what you say when you want to, like, when you're done saying whatever you have to say, and then you want the first person to continue speaking, basically. But as well, like, one expression or one idiom or one phrasal verb in English can have multiple meanings, especially if it's in different countries, you know. So I'm not sure if this is the one you wanted to mention or another one.
Okay, basically what you brought up is definitely what I meant to bring up as well. But it has another meaning to it, and that is when, for example, let's say you are in a situation where there's some name calling, okay? You're throwing a temper tantrum, and you're kind of getting aggressive, you're getting defensive, and then you end up actually calling the other person names. You start cussing or cursing. Curse or cuss, C-U-S-S. Okay, so when the other person, for example, says, okay, you are a jerk, okay? You are a jerk, okay? Actually, he or she is calling you names. And then you're like, back to you. Or it could actually have another context where someone gets into your DM saying that, okay, Dinela, your Instagram profile is really good. I really love your Instagram profile. I love the way you post your photos and everything. And you're like, okay, back to you. Okay, back to you. It means, like, you have the same thing that I have. Absolutely. That sums it up.
Yeah, basically. So that's another way of, because, you know,
guys.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, a lot of English learners tend to use the same expressions all over again, like, oh, you too, or likewise. They keep repeating the same thing. So it's really good to learn all the different ways we can say one thing. So yeah, back at you or back to you is basically what it means too. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And by the way, let me throw in something here. I kind of feel like that the internet from my end is kind of on the fritz. I don't know, guys. Just
happened a few times, but now it's kind of better.
Poor connection.
Much better than it was.
I don't know, Dinela. I'm not really sure. If I want to jump out of Instagram Live and kind of turn off my VPN, do you think it's going to affect the Instagram Live? It's going to cut it out, or I can get back into it?
If you don't close the application, I don't think it shall be affected.
Okay, but the thing is, it's not going to be actually running in the background, so it'll probably kind of close the application.
Oh, yeah, you need VPN to access Instagram, right?
Yeah, I don't want a VPN here. I don't want a VPN. Okay, do not look at you. Okay, but look at you over there without any VPN. Okay, you're just having a time of your life. You're just cruising the internet. Okay, hold on. There's my.
I'm literally in 3G right now, just making sure my Wi-Fi doesn't crash. So yeah.
Okay, guys, would you please let me know in the comment section if you are, am I coming through like muffled or like,
Right
does
now
my
it's
voice
okay.
keep going in and out?
Right now it's just fine. Like
It's fine. Okay,
the
but it kind
video
of
is
acts up every now
fixed.
and
Like
then.
that's all.
All
Like
right, so let's get going. Okay,
okay,
fine.
cool.
So the next one is let me get this straight. Let me get this straight.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear, and let me be loud enough for you to understand. Let me get it straight. So, you kind of like whenever you see someone say this, whenever you hear someone say this, you can notice that they're kind of irritated. Like you're not getting something, you're not understanding something. Let me be straight, or let me get this straight. Literally means like you didn't understand me, so let me kind of explain it in an easier way so you definitely remember it forever, because I need you to remember this forever. So let me get this straight, or let me be straight is another one as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so another way of that could be one way of looking at it, but another usage that it could have is basically when you are involved in a conversation where the other person actually comes up with an argument. Okay.
Yeah.
By argument, I do not mean like a spat or any like a in terms of differences. I mean,
Yep.
the guy, for example, says something tricky or says something that requires actually thinking and kind of figuring out. And you could say, okay, for example, you are saying that if we want to, let me get this straight. If you want to improve our numbers in the company, we need to hire more staff. Is that what you're saying? Let me get this straight. Is that what you're saying? It means let's just be on the same baseline. Let's just be on the same baseline. That basically it actually is what I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Any
basically, like
comment on it?
both sides can use it. Like if you're trying to explain yourself better to someone, so someone understands you better, you can say, let me get it straight. Or if you're listening to somebody's story and you're like, let me see if I understood it right. So like, oh, let me get it straight.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. So from both sides, yep, could be used. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. All right, the next one is you were all. She was all, he was all. Okay. So let me get to it first. Okay, guys, and in a sense of more stereotypical English, a typical English that we are seeing like here and there, okay, in an academic environment where there is literally no focus on spoken English, and this is something that you need to pick up actually along the way. So we're not talking in that context, okay? And a typical way of saying this, because if you want to quote someone, if you want to say that someone said this, said something to the effect of this or that, we always say, okay, she said, he said, I said, you said. Okay, this is a very basic way of saying this. But American people tend to kind of alternate between, I said, she said, you said, and to be like, or to be all. So when you say, I said that you need to get out of this room, okay? And he said, so instead of saying he said, we could say he was like. I'm going to say exactly verbatim what he or she said. I could say that, okay, and she said, or she was like, or she was all, or she was all like, okay, all of these variations could apply. So basically, she was like means she said. He was like, he said. And then you say exactly what the other person said. Okay, this is a very cool way of using this. And you hear this a lot in movies. If you, I don't know, might have watched Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Dr. Phil, and stuff like that, you probably might have noticed this. And people say, okay, I decided to break up, but she was like, okay, let's get a break and let's figure it out. Let's think about it. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's move on with that. See, so she was like, he was like, it means he said, she said. Okay, Dinela, back to you.
True. Yeah, so when you say she was like and she was all like, there's a slight difference in there. When you say that somebody was all like something, you're like, you actually mean that they spent a bit longer saying whatever they were saying. So I can say she was like, let's take a break. Or I can say she was all about taking a break, which means she spent 30 minutes talking about wanting a break. You know, so you are trying to emphasize that somebody focused on talking about it for a longer period of time. So she was like is just, she said it in one sentence, but she was all like, she spent, I don't know, 30 minutes talking about it. So she was like, you know, focusing on it too much. So that's
away.
The amount of time that you spend saying something or explaining something. So if I was like, let's take a break, I spent 5 seconds to say it. Yo, let's take a break. Bye. Or I was all about taking a break. You know what? We should take a break because of this, because of that, and I don't feel like this and I don't feel like that. So it's like elaboration, you know? So that's the only difference, but exactly as you said it, that's what it means.
Okay, and there's more to it actually. One of the other meanings actually that it has is when you are going to kind of show what the other person said, but not in terms of words. You're going to use copy actually the person's facial expression. Okay, for example, I remember one day I walked into the room quietly and my brother was sleeping on the couch and I was like, boo. And it was like, oh. See, I'm not saying any words here, guys. I'm not using any like verbal words here, okay? What I'm saying is like an expression. I'm kind of using my gestures, okay? So that could be actually explaining what happened, and that includes basically a facial expression, okay? So that is another meaning that it has.
Body language. I love body. I don't want people to think that whenever they're learning another language that they should be just using words and vocabulary to express themselves. I mean, we move. When you use your own language, for example, Persian, when you speak, of course, you give it emotion, you give it life. And when you learn another language, like English, give it life as well. So actually saying she was, you could say she was like scared, or she was like, ah, that's fine too. You know, like you don't have to speak all the time. You could, you know, so I'm glad that you brought that up. Really glad.
Okay, thanks. And also in Ebonics, guys, in the black slangs, like the slangs that belong to basically black people, African Americans, to be more politically correct here, they usually say be like. For example, so she was like, okay, let's do it. And you could say I be like, or she be like, he be like, they be like. Okay, when you're going to say something that basically generally, you're going to say something that generally applies to a group of people. For example, black people be like, yo, get your ass out of there. See? Black people be like, okay? Because you are kind of associating it to a certain and specific group of people, actually. You could say, for example, Isfahani is be like, Dada intiande. See? Isfahani is be like. In Farsi, we could say, اسپانیا همش اینجوری میکنن یا اسپانیا اینو میگن اسپانیا اونو میگن رشتیا اینو میگن. Okay, so the be like is also another variation to it.
It's another variation, but it's far more common. Like this language is taking over. We are super informal and the language keeps changing from day to day. Like you know, it's so different now, and I don't know, 50 years ago. Completely different. And all that textbook English thing, like, you know, they're still teaching kids in my country here, they're still teaching kids to say she isn't happy. We don't say she isn't happy. We say she is not happy or she ain't happy. Ain't, you know, and like it's just we're changing. The language is changing. I'm happy with it, and I think that everyone should learn it this way first.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
In order,
absolutely, that's really
you learn that textbook kind of English, and then you go visit the United States, and you're like, oh my God, what language is this? This is not the language that I was learning from that textbook that I bought. You know, of course it's not. The hell. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Dinela, if you actually just bear with me until I. Just let me give it a try because I'm getting a lot of messages coming in and my internet sucks. Okay, let me just give it a try. If it happens to actually cut out, I will come back online and I will have you on the list. Okay, so just hold on a second. Let's just hope that it doesn't cut out. We're all in one
Whoa,
piece.
you're oh
Okay.
good. I was like
Okay,
pregnant.
good.
I was like pregnant. I was like, oh please. Yeah,
Please don't
good,
cut out.
good.
Don't cut out. Don't cut out.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, guys.
It's good. It's good.
So please, guys, let
Yeah.
me know in the comment section if my voice has improved. Okay, am I coming through more clear? Just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, I think you are. Oh
yeah.
my God!
As far as
Somebody said alien language. No, it's just
absolutely
regular English.
alien.
Trust me. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they think that this informal English is just something that we occasionally use. No, the formal English is something that we occasionally use. Like the
Yeah.
formal English that everyone's learning is something that we only occasionally use. And this street one, informal one, is super common everywhere, you know, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you
Yeah.
said, so the English that is being taught in our academic environments here in our country as well, like you said, that it actually applies to your country as well. So a lot of people,
Yeah.
unfortunately, unwanted. Good. Okay. So we're still good? Okay. It's
Yeah.
kind of my
I think we
softbox
are.
kind of dropped.
I mean,
Okay,
videos
but it's okay. So I was saying that,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay. So I was saying that the English that is being taught here also is not all about real American English. This is something that we are suffering. So take me, for instance, a large percentage of my students are from overseas, are from Canada, are from the States, and from Germany, and even Australia. Okay, you're not going to believe it, but this is absolutely true. So these are the people who went through all of this, cumbersome, super boring, atmosphere of learning English, is sitting through a class where the teacher starts coming up with some kind of weird terminology that is not really applicable in real life. And then once they, set foot in another foreign country, like in this case, English-speaking countries, they're like totally like blindsided. They're like, okay, so they're like polar opposites.
Sure.
What did I go through and what it is that I'm experiencing? Okay, what is a definition of English? And that's where they actually, it would be a case of desperate times call for desperate measures. They would do anything to get this barrier out of the way because they need to be focusing on their job. They need to be focusing on their family, the income tax, and all of this, pitfalls that are down along the way. At the same time, they need to be improving their English because they have a hard time understanding what the other person is saying. So what do? They kind of struggle to get an online class with a person who can teach them real American English, something that they actually should have thought of like 10 or 15 years ago. Okay, but now it's like a little too late, and there's literally no time for them to compensate for the time that they lost.
Literally. And you know what, like the best example I can give you that the natural way of learning English is the best way are those immigrant parents. When immigrant parents move to I don't know, somewhere in the United States, and then they give birth to their kids, and their kids are I don't know, something American, and their first language is English, and their parents are way too busy working and bringing up the whole family that they never actually take English classes, but they learn the language with their kids and with the environment. So these immigrant parents end up speaking super fluent English just because of the environment. Like they just absorb it, and the less those formal English classes they take, the better it is for them. And the way I managed to see these people is through YouTube. I follow a lot of American YouTubers, and then later on I find out that their parents are actually immigrants, and I find videos with their parents, and I was like, oh yeah, their parents, English is not their first language, but the way they learned it so naturally, the way they express themselves, the way they use phrasal verbs, idioms, vocabulary in general, and the way they understand other people while speaking, that's all I need to see, that those traditional English classes that you have in your country and that I have in my country here are just like worthless and just time waste.
Yes.
Time wasting.
Yeah, absolutely. At one point, you kind of feel sorry for these people because they're a victim. They're the victims of the society, okay? Because the entire atmosphere is like toxic. The entire atmosphere is toxic, and you see actually a lot of these dorky teachers out there on Instagram, just because they graduated in English, they kind of feel entitled to teach English, and they come up with a lot of outlandish claims out there saying that, okay, I can teach you real American, my accent is real American, okay? But, you know, all the while, when you get into actuality, when you take actually a course with them, you're like, okay, this is like quite different from what I saw. Okay, the guy was presenting something like outstanding, and then what I'm seeing here, so what are you talking about? What's going on here? Okay, so yeah, if you want to talk about it, Dinela, we can go all day, because, you know, there's no end to it. Like, we can talk about it endlessly.
I'm glad we brought it up just for a straight minute. But yeah, there's so much to say when it comes to this. I'm like, the bottom line is the industry is deceiving people for the money's sake. We know that, and every single industry does that.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely.
But what we can
Damn
do
straight.
here is teach them the right way, and we're doing it right now. So it's good.
Yeah, and let's just hope that we can actually keep it up, because, you know, things are pretty tough, and we don't want our audience or anyone out there. Okay, I'm talking like in a holistic way. I'm not saying that only this group of people, our audience, or any people from every walk of life. I'm just hoping that they get some eye-opening tips on how to learn real English. This is something that they could acquire. This is something that they could acquire using YouTube, using it on a podcast. But it might be a little bit tricky at first to actually find the right trajectory, because you might like go off at a tangent. Sometimes it requires a lot of trial and error, but just go for professionals and seek help from actually those people, those who really are what they say they are. Okay, I think that was a good
Preach.
quote.
Preach. That was
Okay.
from the bottom of my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. You heard him, guys.
So,
you heard him.
okay. All right. So let's
Get to the
hold on
next
a
one.
second here. Everything is getting screwy here.
What
Okay,
was the
my laptop screen just went off. Hold on a second. Let me bring it back up.
Okay.
Okay. There. All right. So the next one is all the way. All the way. God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Limitless. Something like no boundaries, limits, or any kind of lines that would stop you from going further, you know. So I can say, if I agree with you, let's say I want to agree with you on something, like you say, oh, you know what, this whole corona thing might be, I don't know, government's playing tricks on us. I don't know, they did this. This was their plan. I'm like, all the way, I agree with you. You know, like, I can't stop agreeing with you. You know, there's no limits to me agreeing with you. Like, it's, yeah. So this is one of the examples.
Yeah.
You?
Okay. So one of the everyday examples that we could think of here is, let's just say that you are sitting in your chair. Okay, you're on your laptop, you're just working, and you feel like really warm. Okay, it's kind of heating up inside because the doors and windows were closed, and you feel like you're kind of baking. Okay, and you're like, hey, can you turn on the AC? And you're like, okay, it's at 20 now. And you're like, hey, would you please like turn it down all the way? Okay, like on full blast, let's say, all the way, okay, all the way down. Or for example,
Without
you are holding on to the steering wheel, okay, and then you want to like back up out the garage, okay, and like the person actually behind you guiding you toward getting out of the garage could say that, okay, now turn right or turn left, okay, now all the way right, all the way left, like to full extent, like the maximum. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't stop in the middle. Don't stop at 40%. Don't stop at 70%. But stop at 100, like completely, fully. So
Absolutely.
that's another. Yeah, that's good. All the way up. There's a song called "I'm All the Way Up." Da-na-na-na. I'm not sure if you heard it. It is from.
Not
oh
music
my
kind of
God.
guys are.
I forgot who. Wait. Let me just hold on. Give me a second. I'm all the
Sure.
way up. So, what? It's French Montana. It's French Montana. All the way up.
What did I do? Okay.
The song. So basically, I'm all the way up means I'm succeeding constantly. There's no limits to my success. You know.
I'm blowing.
It's Fat Joe.
I'm blowing.
Yep, I'm blowing up. I'm like boom. So Fat Joe, Remy Ma, and French Montana. I'm all the way up. And if you want to learn English naturally, this is another advice I want to share with you guys. Music is going to help you so much. So we can teach you what all the way means today. It means fully, no limits, limitless, no boundaries, 100% full, right? And you can probably recall what we taught you, but if you, again, put it into your personal life, for example, with this song, I'm all the way up, your brain is going to memorize this expression forever because you learn it through the song that is super fun. Like, our brains love fun things. Our brains love entertainment, you know?
Yeah,
so if you learn English through entertainment, you're winning. So, yeah, all the way up. That let me just real quick. This is a song.
Okay, sure.
This is a song, All the Way Up. French Montana.
Fat Joe.
Okay. Yeah, all the way up. This is the expression we just mentioned, right?
All the way up.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. There we go.
Okay. So, by the way, another example could be, for example, you need to be at the gate of the airport like in 2 hours, okay?
Okay.
And then you halfway through to the airport, you realize that you left your passport. So what do you have to do? You have to
that happened.
Get all the way back.
Get all the way back. Yeah.
Seriously, you forgot your passport?
I was about to get my visa for Japan, and I was on my way to the Japanese embassy, and we were 30 minutes into our road trip to Sarajevo, and I was just like enjoying music, and then just the passport for Japan.
Little knowing something terrible is happening.
Get all the way back home. Oh my God! I lost my mind. I yelled so loud, like I just shouted, like, and then my sister was driving. What the hell? You want us to get into a car accident? I'm like, bro, how can I go to the Japanese embassy without the main thing, which is my passport? Like, what is wrong?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was just overloaded probably at the time. My brain was so yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, we went all the way back home. We went all the way back home to get it. Like, there was no other way for us to solve the problem. So yeah.
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 Okay.
I
okay.
hope
Great.
you remember all the way back.
The next one. Yeah. The next one is to drop in and to swing by. Okay, swing by and drop by. Okay, drop in, drop by, swing by, come by. So let's actually go through them to see what they mean. They're synonymous. Okay, so can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, if you guys don't know what synonyms are basically expressions or words that are like that have the same meaning. You don't need to know this. You don't need to learn what synonyms are, but I'm just saying in case you don't know. So basically, to drop by, or to swing by, or to drop in means to visit somebody on your way to somewhere else. You know, like you're planning to go to work, or you're planning to go back home from work, and your friend calls you like, hey, you want to have some coffee? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to be off at 4 p.m. Okay, I'm going to drop by around 5. Like, I'm going to be on my way home, and then I'm just going to quickly visit you, and then I'll keep on going home. So that's so what I used to do. Here's a real life example, because real life examples are the best. Okay, like I don't want to come up with some random English sentence. I'm gonna give you my real life situations. So what I would do, I used to play tennis. I had my own coach, and I used to play tennis 4 times a week. Train really hard. And every time I was on my way home, I would drop by and see my aunt, because she works at this shoe store, you know, and she doesn't have kids. So my mom is her sister, and she literally sees us as her kids, right? And whenever I was getting back home from the tennis practice, I would drop by to see her at her shoe store. So I'm sorry, it was 10% of my battery. So yeah,
Okay.
That's one of my examples. Or
Okay. What did you say? You said you were at 10%?
yeah, I have my charger here. It's okay. Don't worry.
Okay, so you can have it plugged in. Okay, yeah. Speaking of swing by, so guys, I just want you to keep in mind that we do not say come by me or come by her or someone. We use actually swing by. It kind of is followed by a place. Okay, so in American English, Americans actually tend to use the word place instead of like, you know, house or home all the time. You could simply go with place. You could also use the name of the person, okay, plus an apostrophe s. For example, you could say that I'm at Ali's. Okay, I'm at Ali's. It means I'm at Ali's place. You don't need to go with the full sentence. Okay, when you're talking about place. So speaking of swinging by, you could say that I'm going to swing by the supermarket to grab some groceries. I'm going to swing by your place. We never say I'm going to swing by you. That would be actually wrong, because it might kind of bring up the meaning that I'm going to swing, because when you say to swing, it means you start actually beating and start like punching and everything, okay? For example, we were like walking our way. We were walking our way, and we were walking toward the bar when some dude showed up in front of us, and he started swinging for no reason, actually. He started swinging. He started kind of throwing punches. He started beating us up. Okay, so come by or swing by someone's place, not swing by someone.
Exactly.
Okay, is that okay?
I'm trying to find a way to place my phone. Hold on. I'm sorry, because I'm charging it now. Oh.
Yeah, I think you should have had it on hand.
I'm so adroit. I'm sorry. I sometimes tend to throw compliments at my own self. For example,
Can
being
you settle down?
Right now. This is this good?
Oh, good. Take your time.
Wow. Okay, it's charging.
Take your time.
Okay, so yeah.
We're all set?
Yeah, I'm all set. Now, a few of you are probably going to confuse swinging with like swinging on a swing. You know, when you put a kid on a swing and the kid swings? We're not swinging there. We're swinging here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is the swinging part that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know, so visualize.
Okay.
Visualize.
So I see that
as you're learning it. Okay.
Dinela, I can see that you have a thing or two about like boxing and everything. To any martial arts you've been trying before?
It's because me and these two of my sisters don't get along. That's why I know a thing or two about boxing, you know, because we just swing at each other from time to time.
Okay.
Sister things.
Good.
That's the thing.
Fine. Yeah. So the next one, guys, is a creep. A creep. You girls out there, you know, get that a lot. Maybe every day, every single day, you get that a lot of, you know, the creepy things. But by creep, we do not mean something scary, like a creepy movie, a creepy house. Yeah. We're not actually talking in that context. So Dinela, creep. Who is a creep? CREEP, guys, by the way.
So, like, creep is someone that you don't want around, if that makes any sense. Someone who just doesn't feel good to you with their own presence. So you can call them all kinds of names. It depends on what kind of situation you're in with that creep person. So let's say there's a guy, you're at a bar with your friends, with your girls, and a guy approaches you or a girl approaches you, and they start throwing some funny stories that they think they're funny, but they're not. And you're just like observing the person. You're like, your vibe, your energy doesn't match mine. Therefore, I find it kind of stupid to talk to you, you know? And I'm not like putting you down or underestimating you. It's just that we don't match. And the whole thing is kind of a no-no. And then the person, if you show this to that person and the person is kind of persistent, even though they understand that you don't want them around, that's what you call a creep, you know?
Yeah.
So are you stupid or what? Like, I'm telling you, hey, back off, you know? So I call these people creeps, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really want to say, hey, you're stupid. It's just like, hey, you're not getting my signs. My signs are no, bye, leave, you know? And they're like, but, I'm like, there's no but, creep, you know? So you just like, you don't appreciate them. And there might be a few reasons for that, you know?
Okay.
They don't want to understand you, or they really don't understand you, aka stupid. Just they don't match with you. So yeah, that's
Okay.
to me.
Okay, so before I start, getting into this, I would like to throw in something quite random.
Yeah.
Danila, I can tell that you are kind of engaged in like acting in a way, because your face is really like expressive. It's really expressive. You kind of get into the head of the character, and then you kind of, I kind of feel like that you have a way with acting, right? Have you ever taken part in any acting audition or anything?
Never. This is actually my nature. And when I talk, how I talk, my parents tend to say, put your hands down, girl. You don't have to wave your hands around to explain something.
Yeah.
Because when I talk to my family members, my friends, I tend to like, if I want to tell my sister, hey, you know what, you're irritating me, I'm gonna kill you. I don't say it like that. I'm like, you're irritating me, I'm gonna kill you. So I move a lot. My body language is more expressive than my vocabulary, you know.
Okay. I see.
But this is one of the reasons I could easily fit into the whole acting world, and I'm trying to. So in my description on Instagram, I put future actress. And I'm hoping for Netflix to notice that. So I followed all the Netflix managers and all the Netflix peeps, and I'm just like hoping somebody notices me. So yeah, I wish I could.
Okay. You should probably try LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, I guess it is also a very good platform to get exposure.
Yeah, I do have. Well, I do have a LinkedIn account already. But I'm not using it. Like it says a language specialist or something like that. That's what I put. But I should put future actress instead of that. That's a good idea. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, that's a very good idea, because LinkedIn is where the professionals kind of gather around. Okay, and that's where you probably want to get your feet wet. So you go out there and then put together a profile, and then you could also put out a video of yourself kind of doing a small acting part of a movie, because you want to actually make yourself seen and watched and heard. Okay, so LinkedIn could be a very good platform. Instagram is for fun usage. Some people do not. Those who are really seeking potential partners, potential applicants, they do not really try Instagram, because Instagram is not a real world platform.
Yeah.
But when you get into LinkedIn, it's all about professionalism. It's all about this is who I am, and this is my true self. Okay, you might also want to give it a try.
I need to tell you that I'm kind of a person that believes that every single situation has a purpose behind. Like whatever happens, no matter if it's bad or good, there's a purpose behind it. And I believe that our live today helped a lot of people learn new expressions and words. But the main purpose behind this one was the universe trying to tell me that I should change my LinkedIn biography, which I'm going to do tonight. Thank you. I don't know how to think.
Yeah, you could reach out. Okay, you could reach out, because this is exactly what I did. Okay, there was time, at one point, it goes back to maybe 7 or 8, anywhere between 7 or 8 years ago. I wanted to get into one of these multinational companies, but I really had a hard time putting in an application. So I thought, okay, what can I do in order to get exposure, to be seen? So what I did was that I reached out to as many related LinkedIn profiles who were on the same actual line of business that I was in. Okay, I reached out and I sent out applications and sent out requests for as many as I possibly could. I don't know, I sent out over 50 or 60 applications. And among that, out of 60 applications that I sent out, so I got 2 of them come back in. And they said, okay, yeah, this is an opportunity. We could actually give you a second chance. We could give you a chance to actually prove yourself. If you want to do it, so why not? Let's set up a Skype interview where we can actually, kick it around, okay? So if you really like put in a lot of efforts into this, because that is the true professional world, you can absolutely get, so instead of like waiting, sitting on your hands, waiting for an opportunity to come all over you. So instead of actually doing that, you could be the one who reaches out, and you could be the person who actually says, okay, this is me. Do you want me or not? Like point blank, like flat out. Do you want me or not? If you don't want me, I can move on to another person. Okay, so just like that, just give it a try, and I'm sure
I used to do that
you'll get a lot of good things
language
happen.
industry. I used to do that when it comes to language industry, but I never thought of doing that when it comes to the acting industry, the movie industry. Like, thank you. My God, like I
could be the silver lining for this Instagram
knew I was doing
live.
something wrong. I knew I was like, you know what? I'm gonna follow everyone on Instagram that is related to Netflix, and I'm working at Netflix, and like I don't know what's next. But I never thought of turning my LinkedIn into that, because my LinkedIn is way too language industry world professional. I gotta switch up. I thank you. Wow. Wow. I'm just mind blown right now. Thank you.
You got it.
I appreciate it so much.
You got it.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay. So Dinela, I think we are 58 minutes in. Okay.
Yeah.
So we still got
I'm
2
not
more
sure if
minutes to go.
Instagram
I'm not sure.
cuts lives. Does it?
Yeah, this is exactly my question. Is it gonna cut us off, or we can like keep going? I don't know.
No idea. Like the last time I had guys, what do you know if his Instagram is gonna cut us out right now or not? Like I have no idea. Like anyone? I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't.
استاد 1 ساعت شد. دوستان به ما بگین که فقط ما میتونیم در واقع 1 ساعت بیشتر ادامه بدیم یا نه. امکانش هست یا نه؟ دوستانی که میدونن. لورا، من خودم لورم علیرضا، من خودم لورم، یعنی بروجردی هم در واقع. آره. خب no idea, no, it won't cut us. Okay, keep going. So it is safe to say that we can keep going.
Okay. By the way, I learned a few Persian words in a year.
Eidet Mubarak. Dinela, can you say that? Eidetun Mubarak. Very simple.
How do you say it?
Eidetun Mubarak.
Eidetun Mubarak. Okay, that's easy. That's kind of Turkish, Persian, Bosnian as well. But like, I learned my very first Persian word was dosettaram, and because I googled it.
That was a little awkward, actually. It's not as complicated as it sounds like. Okay. It's not doset, it's doostet.
Dosettaram. I'm sorry.
Come on, that's it.
And then
you said it.
That was because I googled it, and then I started listening to Tatalu and his Jomah song. Like, I'm adoring it. I learned a whole part of it, and then the last word he says in that song is like khalas, and I'm like, oh my God.
Khalas.
Yes, I love that word.
It sounds more Arabic to me. Okay.
Yeah, but like
khalas.
he just says it so many times. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna. So when somebody pisses me off, like no matter where this person is from, like Bosnia or I don't know, like people usually, I mean, nobody speaks Persian here. So whenever somebody pisses me off and I'm just like listening to what they're saying, I'm like, khalas. Just bias. And they're like, what did you say? What is that language right now? I'm like,
khalas.
You know what? I'm multilingual. Thank you. So yeah, I kind of show off with the 2 Persian words I know.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The Persian language, Persian is not as difficult as it is actually thought to be. Okay?
Yeah.
Because there's no complexities in terms of the tongue position or like guttural sounds. There's no such thing as like complexity in terms of Persian language. So anyone could learn it, but in real world they might not actually find it coming in handy, because this is only spoken in Iran and not anywhere else. They're kind of limited within the country.
It sounds badass. Now, if you don't know what badass means, you guys, it means like really cool, like really awesome. So bad doesn't mean bad. Badass means like like, you know, gangster cool, like you're like when you put your shades on, like, I'm cool.
Like a real OG.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
a real OG.
Exactly. So Persian to me sounds badass, especially in rap music. Like, oh my God.
Wow.
I think I'm falling in love with it little by little. So yeah.
Okay, it's fine. It's really actually kind of impressive, you know, seeing people, you know, getting into other areas of, you know, and anything that has to do with a non-monetary environment. Okay, because we're kind of let's say, we're kind of buried with, let's say, with that would be the best term to actually describe it. We're kind of buried in the monetary world, the material world, that we literally do not dedicate any time to learning another language. Okay. However, that being said, though, I do not actually, call them on it. They call them out on it. I do not do this because these people, especially people who are living in Iran, okay, Iranians, they're really going through a tough time. Okay, they're really going through a tough time with a lot of sanctions going on. The government is really incompetent in terms of, the providing the very first, the essential part of the human beings. Okay, they can't be bothered to actually lift a finger to make it happen. So I do not hold it against Iranians, but yeah, it's really good to work on your self-development. I think that is something that will pull in a lot more advantages and benefits, down the road.
And then when you work on yourself, you start noticing that you appreciate the small things a lot. So me learning a few Persian words and then just showing off with them here in Bosnia, sounding all cool and badass, just makes me happy. Like all the, when you get these 10 small things that make you happy during the day, you just realize that you don't need all that materialistic stuff and the whole materialistic world to be content, and full. So I second that, everything you said.
Yes. And further to what you said, guys, remember, there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of, business ideas and all. But I want you to keep it in mind that the more you learn, the more you earn. If I was to choose between knowledge and money, I would say that money is something transient. Money is something like passing, written on water. Whereas, knowledge is something that when you acquire it, you have this leverage to move the world, because no matter where you go, no matter in what environment actually you're living, so you can get yourself seen. People see you, people observe you because you are talented and you've built up this talent. It's not like that you actually had it from the day one you were born. Okay, it's not like that, like 1 in a million, I would say, that are like genius or like prodigies. But if you really acquire like that self-development and kind of self-confidence, and the more you learn, you are going to reap the benefits from that. You will be seen, people come to you just because you are different. You kind of stand out from the rest. So try to invest in your own capabilities, try to invest in your own knowledge, try to expand it, try to just break out of the boundaries that you have, and then you will see the results coming in. Do not try to latch on every opportunity that you actually see along the way, because necessarily it's not going to make you rich, because you need to learn the knowledge. You need to acquire the knowledge to be able to like double or like a triple, like quintuple the amount of money that you were making. It's all about like self-development. It's not about money. There has been many people, there's been millions of people who got this, I don't know, old money, let's say, from the parents passed down to them, and then they kind of blew it up overnight, okay, because they did not have the knowledge. Okay, so try to invest in your self-development, and that is something that will bring about a lot of, success.
They say that an idiot with a plan is definitely going to succeed than someone without.
Absolutely.
Like even an idiot, a complete idiot with a plan would succeed. And the plan, the number one plan for you should be knowledge, because everything comes out of it. Everything. Your happiness, your success, your money, your all of it. So yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Yeah. I hope you heard him, guys. Heard him well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're 1 hour and actually 6 minutes in. So I think that is probably all the time we have for. Danila, if there is anything that you would like to actually finalize and you would like to touch on before we cut out this Instagram live, please feel free to do it.
Yes, there's something
anything.
English related, English learning related. I don't know how many of you here believe that grammar is going to get you to fluency, but it's not true. Today we worked on vocabulary and super natural vocabulary. I'm glad you picked these words, expressions here. I'm glad you made the list because it's great, and you got it from Boss Baby movie. Perfect. That's where you should get it from. Another way is YouTube, another way is TikTok, another way is Instagram. Just find real life speaking people, English speaking people, then follow them, pick the vocabulary from them and learn it. It's not all about teachers on Instagram. So focus. If you want to become fluent and the world is giving you two options to become fluent, either grammar or vocabulary, pick vocabulary anytime. Please. Sheesh! Who said sheesh? That's a new thing I like to confirm. So yeah, here you go. Sheesh is another way for us to say yes. Okay, so if you don't, that's real life. This is what I told you in the beginning. The language is changing. Okay, and basically we got this sheesh thing off of TikTok where it means that we are agreeing with someone. Okay, so you just sound like this. Who said this? Who said this in the comment section?
Okay, let me see.
Salehi.
Amir Salehi is Amir Salehi.
That's it. Okay, so be where the native speakers are. Okay, and we are on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and we're enjoying everyday real life. We're not following teachers only and learning grammar. It's vocabulary, and that's what you should focus on. Okay? Now everyone, shoot, if you understood it.
Okay, so following what you said, guys, like Dinela said, grammar is not gonna get you anywhere. Okay, because grammar makes you think. Okay, yeah. Look back at the time when you were 2 years old. Okay, would your parents teach you grammar? They would seat you in front of the table and okay, honey, this is a grammar book. You need to learn the structures. You need to know what's what, which is which, in order for us to teach you further. It was not like that. It was not even remotely close to what it actually is. So just try to ignore grammar, because grammar is something that you need to learn intuitively. It is something that you need to learn actually, we're not going to learn anything. We're going to acquire it.
Yeah,
absorb it, acquire it. So try to listen to as many songs, as many podcasts, watch as many movies or TV shows. And one important tip here could be going for the videos where they're speaking off the top of their heads. There's a lot of improvisation. Okay, they're not reading off of a script. There's no list. There isn't a list of words or a script that they're reading off of. They're just speaking off the top of their heads, okay? Yes. Totally winging it. That could be one legitimate, genuine source for you to learn how American people really sound like. What do they say in such a situation? What do they do? Their body language, with the terminology they use. Okay, that could be a very important point. So let's shift focus from Friends TV show. A lot of people say the Friends TV show, I really get that a lot. It could be a good way of learning, but that is not everything, okay?
Exactly.
The Friends TV show is not everything, because there's a lot of made up quotes in there, a lot of funny made up quotes in there that are not really applicable to real life. So try to go find something, just put yourself out there, expand a lot more, okay? You can get into from genre and comedy and drama and horror and thrilling and documentary. Try to diversify, okay? You need to hedge your bets in a way, like we have in the stock market. You need to hedge your bets. Try to focus on many things instead of laser focusing on one singular thing, okay? That kind of makes you one polar, that makes you kind of single-minded. Okay, try to diversify. Watch YouTubes, listen to podcasts. On Instagram, only follow those who are real deal. Only follow those who really are what they think they are and what they say they are, okay? Because you can make a comparison.
Follow models from the United States, follow models from the United Kingdom, Australia.
Absolutely.
If you like cooking, then you can find some cooks that make videos online about how to cook. It's not about how
Yeah.
to learn English. It's about how to
Absolutely.
cook. Or if you like
Absolutely.
music, or if you like, I don't know, technology, go follow tech people on YouTube, on Instagram. Like, just follow what you like. It's not all about language learning and the language industry. It's about your industry, what you like. And then somebody here said in the comment section, it was Masume. She said, I think we should learn how to copy of speaking structures. Yes. Like don't learn grammar that's going to tell you how to structure things, but copy the already existent structures that you hear on YouTube, on Instagram, on, like, just shadowing. It's called shadowing. Yeah, you hear the language and you repeat it. This is what children do. That's why parents tell you, hey, don't use the swear words in front of your baby sister, because the next day your baby, if you say oh, F you, then your baby sister is going to hear it tomorrow. She's going to say, F you too. You know, like, children repeat. Children hear and repeat. It's called shadowing. You should be doing the same. Shadowing. Listen, repeat. That's it. And listen to what you like. Cooking, technology,
Absolutely.
Models, the music industry, whatever. Okay, it's not all about the learning industry. So yeah, remember
Absolutely.
this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all about acquisition, guys. It's all about acquisition, not learning. Learning is for that person who is really, like, competent in terms of speaking fluently, because it has become second nature. It's all like hardwired into his mind, and he has no actually difficulty speaking English. And this person actually intends to go and learn more about the grammar. Okay, why the structure is the way it is, why that structure is the way that is. Okay, but for you who are like at the very beginning phase of learning English, do not try to learn grammar, because grammar makes you think, first of all, and then you need to acquire a language, not learning it, because acquisition is what you want. You could start reading as many magazines as you want. Okay, that is an awesome source for you. So you could be watching, you could be reading, you could be listening. These three kind of form the foundation, build up the foundation of your English, get yourself exposed to it. And on top of all that, try to, if you hear 2 minutes of video content, do not just look past it and say, okay, so that was really productive. No, just hold on and then try to run it back. Try to run back what you said. Okay, this is what I learned, and I'm going to use my tongue to rephrase it using my existing vocabulary. So when you do it, your mind is kind of struggling to come up with the structures, and then not only did you listen to it and heard it, but also you are saying it. When you say it, at the same time you are listening as well. So it actually goes a long way. It really goes a long way. Do not only go for listening. Okay, listening fine, reading is fine, but try to just make a pause before you give up on it, and try to just run it back. Just try to give yourself a run through of what you learned. Okay, this is what I learned, this is what I heard, the guy is doing this, and then he does that. Even if you are making mistakes are totally fine. Okay, try to make as many mistakes as you want, because a lot of people just wait out there for the right opportunity until everything is like said and done, everything like crystal clear, and then they start talking. But it's not going to go anywhere.
Let me tell you
it's
something.
Not going to go anywhere.
Somebody in the comment section said, no, there's scientific reason behind it. Children till the age of 12 learn new language subconsciously, but after 11 years of after they're 11, it doesn't work. It doesn't work after you're 11 was created by the industry so they could sell you grammar courses. Do you understand? It doesn't work after the age of 11 was created by the English or any other learning industry so they could sell you their grammar courses so they could make money. Think about it. They are making you believe false things so you could spend your money on stuff that doesn't work. You know, I mean, when grammar worked, come on, you know?
Absolutely.
It works, and there's proof for that. There are YouTubers from Sweden, from Italy, France, from non-English speaking countries that actually got to speak English at the age of 25 because they started doing YouTube. Ta-ta-da! You know what I'm saying? So, like, sheesh, yes, he said it again. So, like, don't believe everything you read. because everything you read might just be a false story, so somebody else or a company or an organization could benefit from it. I mean, the money rules the world. Who run the world? Money. Hey, you know, so people care about the money, industries care about the money, companies care about the money they make. So they are willing to brainwash you into thinking stupid stuff so they could charge you. You know, like, hey, you will never become fluent the way kids do, but we have a grammar course for you that's going to 100% work.
Yeah.
Come, buy it. Hey, it's just $5 or like $10 or like $100. Sale today, 20% off. Like, come on. These companies are not trying to make money today. Only today. These companies are trying to make money today, tomorrow, and every single day of the year until they like cease to exist. Okay, so like think about it. Thank you, Dinela. Sure, I got you. Okay, don't worry about it. Like, yeah. So you know what? If I end up being dead one day, you know what killed me, not who. What? The industry. Okay. So like exposing.
Okay. Thank you, Dinela, for your very elaborate explanations and your very beautiful definition on learning a language. That not only does it apply to English, but also other languages out there. Okay. It applies to any language out there, okay, guys?
No language, any skill that you're learning.
Absolutely, it's all about learning.
Language,
acquiring
math,
it.
science, whatever that you're learning, get yourself in that environment and you'll learn it, period.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and so guys, thank you for bearing with us for straight, I think it's like we're closing to almost 80 minutes, right? You know, I'm really terrible at math. Okay, anyway, guys, thank you.
I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it so much.
Okay, so did I. And I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that anyone out there actually enjoyed it just as much as we did. Dinela, thank you very much. This is, guys, but by the way, a little bit of, announcement here. This is not going to be our last Instagram Live. Okay, we'll have Dinela online. It is actually, this session is to be continued later on. So we will definitely have, kind of putting you on the spot, Dinela, here.
Thank you.
There's no way out. No exit strategy works here.
Me back. Let me be honest. I had some kind of energy drop in my life. And I was like, you know what, to the hell with Instagram and YouTube and Live. I just got to get better myself. And I wasn't comfortable talking to anyone. You're the first person I'm talking to in months. Like, I've got to check my Instagram page. I'm going to see when was the last time I had a live Instagram in general. Like, I thought anxiety would eat me from inside out today, but I had zero anxiety before the live. So I'm like, wow, improvement. So thank you for having me. I seriously appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for actually joining us. And guys, so this is going to be it. I think that's a wrap. So
it is.
We will actually put out an announcement about our next Instagram Live session. I don't know if it's going to be like next week, or I'll kind of touch base with Dinela on that one, and we'll let you know on our stories, so you guys can actually follow our Instagrams, Language One and English with Dinela. Make sure you follow, like crush that follow button, and try to actually send it out to your other friends so they can kind of benefit from it as well. So thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for being here for such a lengthy Instagram Live. Thank you guys very much, Dinela. Thank you very much for your very positive energy that I'm really getting off of you. And actually, I think that anyone out there kind of got a very positive vibe and energy off of you as well. So that was really, really admirable. And I love your energy. I love your personality. So guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments on our Instagram actual performance and how we went, and what is it that we should be doing more often, what it is that we should be actually stopping doing, just whatever it is that is in your head, just drop it in our comment section under one of the posts on our Instagram profile. And then so let us know how you exactly want it to be, so we can tailor it more like audience oriented.
Sure.
Thank you very much. You guys have an awesome night, and see you night.
Yeah. Next time.
Okay.
Good night.
Have a good one, everyone. Have a good one. Peace.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.